fuck is this world?
Hey, Karen, because
Come on.
it's sort of a bit it's Julian Inman Grant, that fucking mole.
Hasn't she got a
but
weird
listen-
name, Inman Grant? It
I don't know.
sounds.
I still have not done any research on her. Like, who the fuck? Like, why is this American dictating to us like what we can't have as free speech?
And why isn't she being called a plant? Because that seems
Yeah.
like a plant.
Yeah, she's definitely she's
Fucking
from the
big time,
from
bro.
WHO.
She is definitely
But
a plant.
Listen to this and try. Actually, I'll just play it, and I just want your thoughts after it.
Thanks.
Righto, come on, throw this cunt at me.
Thank you,
Boy, wait
Minister,
up
so
before
much
we
for
go
your
on. I'm
leadership.
already got things to talk about. What's going on with fucking Willy Wonka and the Bean Flicks and Chill in the background over there? What's going on there?
I wanted to see if you noticed that.
Holy fuck, man. She's already surrounded by clowns. All right, let's see what the fuckhead's got
That's
to say.
already a circus, yeah?
Yep.
We know that technology can be used as both a tool and a weapon. We want it to be a lifeline for women. But throughout the course of eSafety's 10 years, we've been consistently training frontline workers because we know that technology-facilitated coercive control is almost ubiquitous in family, domestic, and sexual violence situations. So, with the generosity of DSS, we have stood up the world's first national technology-facilitated abuse service. We've had 20,000 frontline workers utilize our self-help hub, where we have technology audits and updates beyond the cat feeders and the refrigerators. A perpetrator can use a line bike. And today we're talking about smart cars because they are essentially computers on wheels today, and we don't want them to become weapons on wheels. By 2031, 90% of all cars sold in Australia will have telematics systems. They already have GPS. You can remotely control or lock or start the car. You can prevent an EV, for instance, from being charged. And these are the types of things we're hearing from domestic frontline workers are happening to Australian women today. So we're here. We've worked with about 400 domestic frontline workers for really complex cases. Why a woman or her children are being gaslit, cannot figure out why her ex-partner knows where she is. And we've pretty much seen everything under the sun, incling children used as pawns. The surveillance of their
I need
own
to pause for a
custodian.
second. So she's running several different things, and her fallback is frontline workers being. At first, it seemed like abused, and I was like, "Well, that's fair enough. If frontline workers are being abused by people," but then she's talking about they're being gaslit. And then she's saying, she's talking
about domestic violence on women and
but
how
then she was also
can be used. She's not making it all
doesn't
word salad.
That's what I mean.
That teleprompter failed. I'm telling you, that teleprompter failed, and she
was saying
had to use
fucking weird shit. Like everything she said made sense for what it was, but it doesn't make sense how she kept spinning it around and how. You need to have EV cars need to be able to be remotely fucking stopped and not be allowed to charge because of frontline workers in domestic violence. But why not just domestic violence in general? Why is it frontline workers, domestic violence? That's like Black Lives Matter. It's fucking stupid. It's just people's lives matter. Like, why is it domestic abuse for frontline workers when it should just be domestic abuse? And why does having the ability to pause or stop anybody in Australia that owns an EV car, how does that stop frontline worker domestic violence? Let's continue. I'm really interested to see how she wraps this up.
real parent. And this can happen through the gifting of iPads or iPhones with spyware on them, a new gaming system with a camera that shows who the mother.
And also there are umbrellas at the beach. And I mean, who needs that when abuse is so rampant within our country while kids are getting smartphones with access to the internet and women are being bashed with EV cars? It doesn't make sense.
Might have as a guest in her home. So again, we want technology to be a tool and a lifeline, not as a vector of abuse. And so we continue to provide
the big
service
lesbian behind her
to the
doesn't know what
broader
the
public.
fuck she's
And today
talking
we
about.
put out an online safety.
You know who it is? Are you a big fan of Harry Potter? Have
Yes.
you seen the Harry Potter film? You know Crab and Boyle?
Yes.
Malfoy, Draco Malfoy's fucking sidekicks. You know, that looks like she's Draco Malfoy, and that's Crab or Boyle in the background. She's like, she'd say something to her like, "Well, that's what I was reading," and then Malfoy would be like, "I didn't know you read." That's fucking it's a crony. That's a full-on side of crony.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is a glitch in the matrix, man. I cannot believe the crazy subject swings that she's running with. Anyway,
This is actually showing me, I think she's always been prepared or scripted, but she's actually dumb as fuck.
Dumb
It's
as
just word
fuck.
salad. Nothing makes sense. And she's talking about spyware on being placed on people, on kids' tablets and what. But how are you going to prevent that? Like, what's her solution? She doesn't say a solution. She just said that we've now got a department of technology for domestic violence and like. Well, that's not going to stop shit.
She kept saying it was almost like somebody hasn't really thought about it. Like she kept saying we need to control this element of technology because of this bad thing. But the bad thing, she didn't spend any time on relating it to how the technology. Maybe there is, but it's almost like she's fucking paraphrasing and missing a lot of context.
Johanna goes, I'll still be driving my 2002 Mitsubishi Pajero in 2032. Cunt.
Absolutely.
Cunt.
I support that
care.
message, Joanna. That is legit. All right, let's finish it. Come on. Before Crab and Boyle kick in. You know, it also looks a little bit like the Walrus and the Carpenter. Have you ever seen that? They trick all those oysters into being eaten.
That's from Alice in Wonderland, isn't it?
It is. The Walrus and the
The
Carpenter.
advisory specifically around smart cars. We've done a number of these around coercive control and changing attitudes of young men around romantic relationships, where they think that they should be able to have the passwords of their partners. They should be able to expect immediate responses to phone calls and texts. And we need to change these attitudes and make sure that we're keeping people safe. With
That's a social
bashing.
issue. That's not
That's
a
just
fucking.
man-bashing.
But that's not even that. Like, who cares? That's not something the government needs to step in to regulate. They don't need to touch that. That's called everyday fucking problems with relationships. If your boyfriend wants your fucking password and wants to control you to that point, for starters, that's not everybody. And for seconds, that's a fucking toxic relationship. That's up to parents and the culture to reject that as something that's acceptable. That's not up to the government to mandate controls over people's fucking technology and phones to stop the boyfriend who's over fucking jealous and overprotective and wants to go through her social media. That's not something we need the government for. They're shoehorning themselves into every aspect of our lives, our love lives now. Excuse me. You've been found guilty of being a little bit jealous, a little bit overjealous. Did you stalk her social media to see who she was taking photos with at the beach and who was looking? Mate, that's 12 months in prison. Like,
Yeah.
do we need the fucking government for that?
No, we don't.
Jealous boyfriends are now under attack. Yeah, they're fuckheads. I get it. But it's not something we need this stupid cunt. Look at her fucking face where I've paused it. Pretty perfect.
Yeah, that tells you all. Yeah, she's an alien.
I couldn't tell you where that conversation started.
Who's the Oompa Loompa in the background?
Technology that we use every day. Thank you.
What the fuck?
I want to get a transcript of that and run it through AI. I feel like that has to be.
It broke
AI.
my head.
I don't think that can be real, man.
It just makes no sense.
She comes in flat knackers. Like,
thank you, Minister, so much for your leadership.
Sweet. Yep.
We know that technology can be used as both a tool and a weapon.
All right. So she opens with technology as a tool and a weapon.
We want it to be a lifeline for women, but throughout the course of eSafe.
So she's immediately switched. We want it to be a lifeline for women. Technology, we want it to be an emergency lifeline for women. Okay, like what? So every woman is in danger right now.
They've been consistently training frontline workers because we know that technology-facilitated coercive control is almost ubiquitous in family, domestic, and sexual violence situations.
Hang on. See, here's the big key. What she just said then. Let's listen to that real quick.
Ubiquitous in family, domestic, and facilitated coercive control is almost ubiquitous in family because we know that technology-facilitated coercive control is...
Technology-facilitated coercive control. So that basically means technology-facilitated coercive control. That's like... No, this is insane, dude. So what she's saying, she goes, we want... It can be used for good and evil, but right now we want it to be a lifeline for women, and we know through training of frontline workers, through abuse, that we understand that it is used as a controlling mechanism for abusive partners, is what she's saying. And then she says it's ubiquitous with something.
It's almost ubiquitous in family, domestic, and sexual violence situations.
So what she's saying is family, domestic, and sexual violence is almost ubiquitous with abusing through technology. That is fucking absolutely untrue.
Is she saying that text, like you're texting someone, but that's like cyberbullying? That's always happened.
Yeah. But what she's trying to say is that it's now become it's basically the biggest smoking gun. She's trying to say that it is the number one thing that people are abusing their partners over. Fuck off. You live in the same house. Your partner's going to roll over and smack you in the lip. If you have an abusive partner, they're not going to write a bunch of fucking nasty shit online. They're going to punch you in real life. They're going to gaslight you in real life. There's nothing to do with technology.
Yep.
That's a load of shit.
Yeah.
So she's just running this whole thing. Anyway, I'm not going to fucking replay the whole thing, but when you actually try to break down every sentence that she says into what it means, it immediately is taking huge leaps. Huge leaps.
Steve Crossman says, for fuck's sake, this is out of control. It is. Like, I probably played this 3 times during the day today, and I still don't she jumps from one thing to the other, and she's basically trying to say that technology needs to be taken away from abusive men.
For just men. It seems like just men in general, that women are so in danger now because it's so ubiquitous with domestic assault, sexual assault, and just straight up assault on women, that it needs to be so regulated that they can turn it off at the flick of a switch so that it becomes a lifeline for women.
So with the generosity of DSS, we have stood up.
What's DSS?
Department of Social Services.
Okay.
up the world's first national technology facilitated abuse service. We've had 20,000 frontline workers utilize our self-help hub, where we have technology.
Why is it frontline workers? I really don't understand.
I think by frontline workers, I'm starting to get the gist and projecting
The
here.
idea.
Social workers.
Okay.
Is that what it is? 20,000 social workers? I'm going to ask a friend of mine who's a social worker if he's aware of this bullshit. I'd love to have him on the show, but he's...
I'd love to understand what the fuck she's talking about. Anyway, let's leave it at that, man, because I can't handle too much more. My fucking brain's just done a full McDonald's arches, and I'm literally about to turn into a fucking pretzel.